ITEL is all about. A whole lot of us might not have had the experience of going to the post office to go and post a letter. A whole lot of us might not even know what a stamp is all about. We are now in that era of technology. We are in the era of artificial intelligence. We are in the era of, digital transformation. But the question is, how do we then transform or translate all these innovations, technology, digital transformation into our businesses, and how do we scale these businesses? Are we together? So now, what are we going to be talking about today in a clear time? We will be having a clear picture of what it means to scale a business successfully. We'll be talking about how innovation creates a real defensible edge in a crowded market. I might have discussed this with you before, that there is no monopoly of any business. No matter how unique you think you are, there's somebody out there somewhere doing the same business. So the same market, the same customer, the same niche, but different unique selling points. So how do you create your own niche? How do you create a defensible edge in a market that is crowded, in a market that has so many competitions? Again, we'll be looking at how to build systems and processes that don't depend on you alone. In this 21st century, this is close to the end of 2026. And I was having a class a few days ago, and I was kind of telling my audience that we are moving into what we call the agentic phase, where artificial intelligence, AI agent will be the one performing, transactions on your behalf. Now we have people that tells you, oh, I'm a private shopper. I help people shop. I go to the markets, this and that. But we are moving into a phase where all the system needs to know, all the intelligence needs to know is your behavioral pattern, your buying pattern, your choice pattern, and it will be able to decide for you and transact on your behalf. So now, in this day and age, for you to say you want to scale your business, number one, you need to have created a system that can work with or without you. So if you have a system in place that will only function when you are around, then that is not a system. So how to choose and how you use technology that multiplies your team's output. Let me quickly divert a bit from today's class. In as much as we talk about digital transformation, it's not a guarantee that as a business, if you explore digital transformation, your business will scale 100%. Because in the true sense of it, 70% of businesses still fail, despite the fact that they explore transformation. And there are several reasons why they fail. It could be because of leadership resistance. It could be because of people and culture. It could be because of poor data integration or using the wrong technology. So even if you have decided to adapt or to adopt technology, if you are not putting the right systems in place at the right time, you still stand the risk of losing out. So how do you now choose a type of technology that will help you scale your business? And personally, today, what are we going to be talking about? A personal scale-up action plan that you can start using immediately. But the very first question is this. A few years ago, people just do business without technology. People just do business without innovation. But right now, a lot of business owners, a lot of business industries are now incorporating technology because they want to scale. So why do we think innovation and systems matter for scaling? There are 4 reasons that we need to look into, right? The very first reason is this. Growth without system will only create chaos. Are we together? If we are looking at why innovation and systems matter for business scaling or for growth in business. Growth without systems only creates chaos. More deals, more drop balls. Secondly, innovation is what actually keeps a business relevant as the market evolves. Remember, we've all come to the understanding that technology, artificial intelligence is now dominating the world. So without innovation, your business will not be relevant. Technology, again, will allow a small team deliver an output of a more larger one. So what does that mean? You can be in the comfort of just your one room or just a small business space. The moment you adopt technology, your output will be that of a business that has like 10, 50 rooms because you are leveraging technology, because you are leveraging digital transformation. Sure. Are we together? Isaac, are you talking to me?
No, not at all, ma'am. We are following, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. The last reason why innovation and systems matter for business scaling and growth is that businesses that scale successfully grow revenue faster than they grow headcount. So it's not really about the number of staff. It's about the innovation that is in place. It's about the technology that you have put in place. It's about how you are embracing this thing called digital transformation. Remember the topic of the day, which is strategic business growth, leveraging innovation, systems, and technology to scale business successfully. Now, I haven't spoken about why innovation and systems matter in scaling. The very next question will then be, what does scaling success mean? Remember, scaling is different from scaling successfully. So if we say scaling successfully in the business world of today, which is the age of now artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and the likes, scaling is not simply doing more of the same. Scaling is growing revenue and impact without growing complexity, without growing cost, without growing risk at the same time. So the main thing you are growing is your revenue. So it's not as if now you are growing revenue, your problems is also growing, the complexity of your business is growing, the risk of your business is growing. You can mitigate all those negative effects while you still grow your business or you still scale your business successfully. And when it comes to scaling a business successfully, right, it has to be something that is repeatable. It's not something that is one-off, that you say, oh, I put this system in place and it's a one-off. Just like we talk about business evolution, that is a continuous thing. Unlike transformation that we can say, oh, it is finite. Evolution is slow and steady. Are we together? So scaling is really not simply doing more of the same thing. It's about growing revenue and impact without growing the complexity, without growing the risk, and without growing the cost at the same time. Again, it has to be repetitive and not one-off. Also, it has to be structured and not chaotic. We've seen so many businesses today that because they are growing, because they decided to scale, it comes with so many problems. It comes with so many pain points. So scaling, two things that you will only scale, right? The revenue and the impact. While scaling those, you have to put system in place to mitigate the risk of scaling, to mitigate the complexity of scaling, and to mitigate the high cost of scaling. Also, for scaling, it has to be tech-enabled. In this day and age, where technology answers several things, you must put technology and innovation in place to be able to scale any business successfully. So you can't say you are scaling a business and all your business operations are manual. How do you then want to scale? Again, it has to be sustainable. I see people say, oh, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday and he was telling me that, oh, he has an idea, he wants to go into this business and he wants to start with developing an app. The question is that the first line of action? You don't even have a structured or a registered business name. Then you want to start by having an app. How sustainable is that? And when we talk about growth, there are 3 vocal points of growth. I call them the 3 growth levers. And in everything that we do, in the world of technology today, when it comes to growth and scaling, we must put 3 things in place. The very first one is innovation. The second one is system. The third one is technology. If you are not adopting these 3, then you have not started to scale. It's also important to note that these 3 must work simultaneously. They must work hand in hand. You can't have 1 and leave 2. You can't have 2 and leave 1. It has to work together, which is innovation, systems, and technology. So when we say innovation, what are we trying to achieve here, right? New way to sell, new way to serve, a new way to stand out in the market. Are we together? In as much as there's no monopoly of any business, the market is competitive, the market is crowded in any industry. However, with innovation, you can still stand out in the crowd. With innovation, you can still stand out in your market. So devise means that will create a new way to sell, a new way to serve, and a new way to stand out in the market. After looking at technology, remember we are talking about the 3 growth levers. The very second one is systems, repeatable processes that does not depend on any one person, system that does not even depend on you as the MD or as the owner of the business. So if you are running a business and you want to scale, and that business cannot run well or cannot function well without you, then you are not running a business. Then you are not adopting or adapting to technology. And the very last one, the third one on the line here, is technology. Look for tools that multiply what your team can deliver. Look for tools that can upskill and upsell your team members. So instead of having 20, 30 people doing the same thing and they cannot even exhaust what they are doing, they can't even finish what they are doing, look for tools that you can use that will scale their productivity, that will improve or increase their efficiency. Are we together? When we also now talk about innovation, how do we rethink how we sell and how to serve? Remember, I had said there's no monopoly of any business. If you walk along Admiralty Road, for instance, you can count 20 or 30 restaurants. They're selling the same food, the same menu, the same recipe, and guess what? The same crowd. So what differentiates restaurant A from restaurant B? That is where creativity comes in. Rethinking how you sell to your customers, rethinking how you serve your customers or your clients. So in this day and age of technology, in this day and age of artificial intelligence, innovation is not only a new product, it is the new ways of reaching and serving your clients. Remember, for you to serve your clients, you would have identified your target audience. You would have come up with your own unique selling point. So innovation is not about, oh, there's a new product that you are selling. That is not what innovation is all about. Innovation is looking at technologies, looking at ways that can help you serve your clients or your customers better, easier, faster. in a more competitive way. Again, look at every stage of your client journey and ask yourself, what can I do to make it faster? What can I do to make it more seamless? What can I do to make it more enjoyable for my client? What are the pain points? A client will walk up to you and say they need your service. And there are 10 points before they actually achieve the aim of the day. Ask yourself, are there points that are actually needed? You go to so many organizations and you see the level of bureaucracy. So are there things that you can eliminate? Are there pain points that customers actually feel? Do you have customers that anytime they want to come to your office, they want to come to your shop, they just think about it and they are like, oh my goodness, I'm going to this shop again. I wish I don't have to go to the shop. So what are the systems you are putting in place to ensure that your customers or your clients, they have a good, memorable experience? And when we talk about innovation, most times it might not be about the big thing. It might not be about the big technology. It might just be the small change, the small introductions, the small improvements. However, they must be consistent. So it's the small, consistent improvement that often beat one big reinvention. So what does that mean? An improvement today, Monday. Tuesday, another level of improvement. Wednesday, another level of improvement. You are not stopping. You continue to move. Before you know it, you are at that end of the table because you were not dormant. You kept on going. So when we talk about innovation, innovation is about doing more with what you already have, understanding what you have, and thinking about how you can make it better, how you can make it faster, how you can make it more relatable, more achievable for your client and your customers. So it's not about doing more. It's about doing more with what you already have. It's really not particularly about the big thing. I want to do this, I want to do that. It's actually in the small things. But over time, how consistent are you in the things that you do when it comes to innovation and business transformation? Are we together? Having spoken about, growth, scaling, innovation, in your field, which is real estate, what are the innovation ideas for real estate and investment? Because remember, we can't really talk about innovation without paying close attention to internet, paying close attention to technology. Internet and technology has actually made the world a global village, a small village. So with the comfort of your bedroom, with your phone that has internet, you can have the whole world at your palm. How are you now then leveraging what you have to get what you are supposed to get? Because a whole lot of us as business owners, as individuals, we really don't appreciate what is out there for us. We are content with our own little corner, our own comfort zone. So what are the innovation ideas in real estate and investment industry? The very first one is this: virtual tours and digital walkthroughs for out of town or diaspora clients. Take your company as an example. You have a lot of clients in the diaspora, especially because in the real estate industry, a lot of companies are dealing with trust. They want to buy something from you. They are not in the country, but they want to have a feel of the location, the ideas, the area, the side attractions. What are the technology that you have put in place that can make them feel they are actually there, but in the real sense, they are out of the country? So think about virtual tours, digital walkthrough that customers or prospective clients can view, and they'll be like, okay, I saw that. Oh, that is the Deraski scheme. Oh, that is T Junction. Oh, this is Dangote Refinery, from the comfort of their bedroom. Is it doable? Absolutely yes. Right? Another innovation idea for the real estate industry is self-service client portals for documentation and payment tracking. I see so many times a whole lot of real estate, investors, they have issues with documentation. They make payments are not confirmed on time, documents are not sent on time. Most of them, they've even collected their document, they've misplaced it, they can't find it. So how can we use technology to ensure that all these things are actually at their beck and call? Create a client portal where when they pay, you guys get it at the back end, confirm the payment, they get that confirmation notice as well. After that, process the documentation, upload the documentation on that platform, they get an alert on their phone, and they see their documentation. 5, 10, 20 years to come, they still have access to this documentation, even without handing paper to ourselves. Another innovation idea for real estate and investment is data-informed pricing and site selection instead of gut feeling alone. So when a customer comes to you and say, oh, I have 50 million, what do I want to buy? And for you as a realtor, you are thinking that, this man has 50 million. If I sell site A, my commission in that one is 15%. If I sell site B, my commission in that one is 10%. Let me quickly sell site A. That should not be what your decision will be based on. Your decision should be based on data. I said it before that in the world of today, if you have data, 50% of your problem is solved as a business person. And I said data is very valuable, absolutely valuable in the hands of those who know the true value of data. Data will also move you away from a gut feeling decision phase to a data-driven decision phase. It means you are just not saying, my mind is telling me that we should expand to Jos. I have a feeling that we should go to Borno, very close to that Sambisa. I think that we have a lot of prospects there. That is your mind now telling you where to go. You are just acting based on your own gut feeling. You are acting based on your own reasoning. You are acting based on your own, intuition. No data is driving you to say, you know what? If 50% of the people patronizing us are based in Jos, it means if we have properties in Jos, we will also have a whole lot of patronage in Jos. So innovation will improve data-informed pricing and site selection. When a customer comes to you, what you are presenting to them is not only the true product, you are backing it up with data, that this product is X amount. 5 years ago, this product was this amount. This is the proof. Now, this is this amount. If we project in the next 5 years from data, this is what we will have. So it will be data that will inform your decision, not just my mind is telling me that. Another innovation idea for real estate and investment industry is flexible payment and investment structures tailored to client needs. We talk about demographics. Again, we can't talk about demographics without talking about psychographics. And what is the difference between the two? Are we together? After identifying your target audience, which is basically the demographics, segmenting either by age, by location, by gender, by interest, and the likes. That is like your audience, your niche. That is what we mean by demographics. But when we say psychographics, why are they patronizing you? What exactly are they expecting? So it's like their expectation is about what they need. Their reason for patronizing you. That is what we mean by psychographics. So after identifying your demographics, come up with a reason. Why should they patronize you and not your competitor? So in the world of business today, especially with innovation and technology, growth that doesn't depend on you should be what every business owner should look into. Are we together? So document how key tasks are done so that anyone can step in. It's not that, oh, because Isaac is not around, work cannot be done. Because the MD is not around, work cannot be done. Document the major task and the steps. That's why for me, when I go to any company, either as a management consultant or as a trainer, I want to ask for your SOPs, your standard operating procedure. Let me see the steps. So even if one person goes today, you don't need to start from the scratch from the new person. Just hand over the SOPs. Let the person go through it. The person will already have like 40% idea of what he or she is expected to do. So standardize the client's journey so that quality does not vary by staff member. You walk into a company today, somebody, attends to you nicely, well-spoken, articulated. You come back tomorrow, another person is telling you completely different thing, different style, no consistency. You go to branch in Lagos, you have a different feel. Go to another branch in Abuja, completely different feel. Where is the consistency? So again, systems free you to work on the business, not just in it. Anywhere you are in the world, you should be able to work on your business. Know that, oh, you must be in the office. When you are not around, nothing moves. That is not innovation. That is not scaling a business. So the truth is, if it only works when you are in the room, then it's not a system yet. So when you say you are creating a system, are you creating a system that can work when you are not in the room? Are you creating a system that can outlive you? Are you creating a system that when you are not around, things can run, businesses can run? So if it only works when you are in the room, then it is not a business. It is not a system. But if it works when you are not around, when you are not in the room, that is when you can say that you have created a system. So look at your businesses today. Look at your team members. Look at your department. As a team lead, or as a team member. For example, as a team lead, if businesses cannot run without you, then you have not created a system. And it will be very, very difficult to scale that kind of business. So what are the elements of a scalable system? There are 4 elements of a scalable system. Number 1 is documentation. Number 2 is consistency. Number 3 is structure. And number 4 is accountability. That is key. If you have those 4 in place, your chances of scaling your business exponentially is quite high. So when we say documentation, right, it's not something that is very hard. It's a simple step. Clear written steps for every recurring staff, especially in the real estate industry. What we do is basically the same thing, right? Somebody pays today, you are doing acknowledgement letter, you are doing receipt, contract of sale, deed of assignment, statement of accounts, and the likes. That doesn't need too much of a system. Automate it, right? Clear written steps on how it should be done, because it is what happens all the time. It's a recurring task. And when we say consistency, the same process every time for every client. It's the same template. A client comes to buy Jasper Gardenia today. Tomorrow, the person is buying Primrose. It's the same company, the same task, the same step. It's just the name of the estate that differs. So we've talked about documentation. We've talked about consistency. Now let's talk about structure. What is structure? Clear roles, so nothing depends on the person. If it's only one person that can do one thing, then there's no structure. Nothing should depend on one person. If that person dies, what happens? Let's now look at accountability. You must ensure that you track what is done and what is not, so that you don't have pending tasks every time. So if all these checks, then we can say that you have a sustainable, scalable system in place, which is documentation, accountability, consistency, and structure. So when we talk about innovation, we can't talk about innovation without really talking about technology. Technology is what we are all enjoying today. Technology will help you multiply your team's outputs. How do you do that? CRM tools to track every lead, track every client, and follow up in one place. I see so many companies, 2, 3 people calling a particular client for the same thing every day because they are not tracking. No proper record. Adenka calls somebody, Jessica calls the same person, Joshua calls the same person, Daniel calls the same person from the same company. It already tells me that you don't have any automation in place. It shows that you're not leveraging technology to do your business. Also, automated messages for inquiries, reminders, and after-scale check-ins. In the real estate industry, we all know what FAQ means, frequently asked questions. You can also automate the message that everybody gets after they've gotten their receipt or they've gotten their documentation or after they've visited for inspection or after they've been allocated. Automate all those things. It makes the work faster and more efficient. Then also, dashboard that show performance in real time, not just at the month end. Once a payment is uploaded or once a document is uploaded, let there be a real-time dashboard that they can see. How do you then choose a right technology that works for your business or that will help you to scale? The very first thing is this. Are we together? Tell me if we are together, if you can hear me, drop your reactions in the comment section.
Yes, we are together, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So how do you choose the right technology to scale? The very first thing is this. Start with the problem, not the technology. Start with the problem, not the tool. What is actually slowing you down? It is when you have identified the problem, that is when you start thinking about the kind of tool that can solve that problem. So scaling here is not about, let me use this technology. It's about what kind of problem do we have and what kind of technology or what kind of tool can solve that problem. So the very first thing is you start with the technology. After that, you start with the problem. After that, choose the tools your team will actually use consistently. And review and retire tools that no longer earn their place. So many times, a whole lot of us are stuck to tools that are not making any improvement in our business. So when you have adopted a tool and that tool is not working, do not waste time. Just migrate from that tool to something that your team or your business can work with. So technology should actually remove friction, not add another layer of it. And you can only achieve that by first deciding what the problem is. It is when you have identified what the problem is, that is when you will now think about the tool that will solve that problem. So talking about growth, talking about scalability, you must think about how to move from a founder-led to systems-led growth, how to move from an MD-led to a system-led growth. It's not about because the MD is around, we have to grow. MD is around, we can scale. The system should be able to scale itself. And how do you do that? Identify the decisions only you currently make and start delegating them. Oh, if Adeoye is not around, nobody can approve. If Joshua is not around, nobody can go for inspection. No business will grow like that. So you must be able to delegate. So if there is any decision that you alone can take, especially when it's not something that is big financial decisions. You can delegate to your team members so that work can go, work can move. You must also put your knowledge into checklists, templates, and training materials. Whatever you know as an individual, educate your team members. Remember, when it comes to business or even real estate in particular, it's about networking. It's a team kind of thing. So whatever you know, put it down and train your team, train your staff almost every time. I give that to you guys. Your MD is keen on training because that is the only thing that can make anyone grow. Also, you must measure the business by its systems and numbers, not by your presence. So you can't measure your business by, oh, I'm around today, this is my business, this is how much I have brought. How much can the business actually generate without you? That is moving from founder-led growth to system-led growth. Again, you must build a team that can maintain standard even when you take the back seat, even when you are not around. It's not only when you're around that your system, your team will maintain a certain standard. Even when you are not around, the standard should be consistent. The standard should be a form of policy. How do you then scale through market shifts and uncertainty, especially in a volatile economy like Nigeria? How do you maintain that scaling? The very first thing is you keep system flexible enough to adjust without starting over. You roll out a new product today, you are selling for 100 million. A 30-bedroom flat you want to sell for 100 million, you've done your BAQ, BOQ and everything. In 2 months, price doubles. What happened? Are you going to refund? So you must already inform your client ahead that if you are paying for 2 months, this is the amount. If you are paying for 6 months, this is the amount. And this amount are subject to periodic review, depending on the prevailing rate as time goes on. That should be included. So you must prepare for that market shift and uncertainty. Also, focus growth investment where system and demands are proven. You can't just decide, oh, you want to go to a place where there is no data that shows that you are going to be able to scale in those areas. You must also use downturns to strengthen processes before the next growth phase. So if you have things that has happened now that were a bit negative, make good use of the data that you can generate from that. And let it be the basis of your next informed decision. And in as much as we talk about growth, are there pitfalls when it comes to growth? Absolutely yes. Are there downfalls when it comes to scaling? Absolutely yes. Because trust me, scaling without volume before the system can support the load, that's a pitfall. There must be a volume that you already have in place. Also, adopting a new technology without training the team that will use it will be a total disaster. So training comes first. Understanding what the problem is comes first before you can say you want to adopt a new tool. Also, keeping critical knowledge in one person's head instead of documentation. Instead of documenting that particular knowledge or that particular information. Oh, a client came in yesterday. It was Victory. They attended to that client. I think Victory has all the details. What happens if Victory decides to resign that day? Are we together? So chasing growth that erodes the client experience along the way is also a common pitfall when it comes to growth, when it comes to scale. So what should your scale-up action plan be? How do you want to scale? I will give you just 5 steps when it comes to your scale-up action plan. The very first thing is this. Try and document one key process this week that only you currently know. Not that everybody knows. One thing that you do that is only you that know how to do that thing. Document it. After that, identify one client journey step that technology could simplify. You know the things you do all the time. You know the routine. So identify one client journey or one client journey map that technology or innovation can actually simplify. After doing that, you then review your current tools, the tools you are currently using, and drop one that is not earning its place. The tool is just there. You are just subscribing every month. You can't really see its impact. You can't see what that tool is actually doing. That is number 3. Then number 4, delegate one decision you will currently make to a trusted team member. Anything can happen to you. Remember, if that task cannot be done except you are in the room, then it's not a system. So delegate one decision you currently make to a trusted team member. Then lastly, set a monthly review of systems, set a monthly review of tools, and set a monthly review of growth numbers. What did you do last month? What has happened this month? What tool did you put in place that ensure that you actually scale this much this month? Document the journey. And again, that is also providing data. So what are the key takeaways when it comes to growth and scaling, adopting innovation and technology? What are the key takeaways? The very first point here is scaling well means growing without multiplying chaos or cost. Are we together? I will take that again. The key takeaways, right? Scaling well means growing without multiplying chaos or the cost of doing the business. That is what scaling actually means. Also, innovation keeps you relevant as the market keeps changing. So no matter how the market continues to change, because you are leveraging innovation, you will continue to be relevant in the industry. Also, systems make quality and growth possible without you in every room. So if you cannot, if your company or if your office or your business cannot function if you are not around, then that is not a system. System will only make quality and growth possible if you are not in the room, right? Also, the right technology multiplies your team. It doesn't replace them. I know a lot of people are scared. People will tell me, Mr. Dinka, this AI, we are going to lose our job. We are going to lose our job. You are not going to lose your job. The right technology will help you upskill yourself. The right technology will make your job easier and error-free. So finally, I will take the 4 again. Systems make quality and growth possible without you in the room. Scaling well means growing without multiplying chaos or cost. Innovation keeps you relevant as the market keeps changing. And finally, the right technology will multiply your team, will multiply your skill, and it will not replace you. Are we together? Any question? Any question?
Please, if we have any questions, we can make use of the chat box, or we can raise a virtual hand.
Any question from today's class?
Okay, so we would love to say a very big thank you. This session has really been power-packed. Please, everyone in one voice, let's just unmute our mics and say thank you, Mrs. Adeyinka, Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have the grace, just
Thank you
2 seconds on mute.
very
And if
much, man.
you've
Thank
gotten
you.
value, say value,
Value,
value, value.
value, value, value. Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Yes, thank you everyone for that beautiful feedback. So for
Thank
everyone
you.
joining us, yes, I can see a lot of energy in the room and feedbacks, that are great. Thank you everyone. So for everyone joining across our different social media platforms, please let's do well to also comment. We can share what you learned across our platforms. And let's, also engage because you are part of the session as well. So as we all know, we love to keep to time. The session has been very impactful, and I believe everyone has learned one thing or the other. So we'll just hear from 1 or 2 persons. Let us know what is your take home, from today's session. I can see Daniel, I can see Abdul Latif. We'll just take 2 persons, only 2, and then we proceed into the role play and product knowledge session for today, which will be done in just like 15 or 20 minutes, and we close for today. So Daniel, can you hear me? Okay, you can unmute your mic and tell us, what stood out for you in today's session.
Okay. What stood out for me today's session is actually that the right system will multiply your team and not replace them. And also that scaling is growing your business operation without multiplying chaos and cost. So even though the business increases, their risk increases, there shouldn't be disorderliness. You should be able to handle that without increasing chaos and the cost. So that is what stood out for me. I also learned that it's a pitfall to keep critical knowledge in one person's head instead of systemizing operation, like document the process so that even when that person is not around, another person can do that effectively. So knowledge will be stored in templates to enable somebody to do it even when you are not there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Daniel, for that great, feedback. It shows you really paid attention to the class, and we look forward to seeing, your transformation and results as well from this great session. Okay, let's have just one more person, and we move into the product knowledge session. IT, please, let's have the drive on standby. Okay, good afternoon. Your name?
I'm Joshua Labowale.
Can you put on your video, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi,
Thanks
good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Mrs. Adeyinka. I learned a lot today. You talked majorly on strategic growth. You talked about technology, how it brings more output, and then it fosters to grow a company or an organization even better than an head count. You talked majorly on 3 growth levels. You talked about how growth also can be structured in an organization, where you talked about innovation, you talked about system, you talked about technology, you talked about scanning, which is very much important. You talked about scanning, you talked about evolving. That is how business evolves majorly. And you talked about structure. You talked about structure majorly and technology, that in an organization where it is being practiced, it must be repetitive. It must be something that they can repeat oftentimes to get a better goal result, to get a better result. You talked about how majorly on documentation, that is one of the major challenges of the real estate.
Yes.
Yes. You talked about virtual tour. That is something
Yes,
that company can also put in place to
yes,
also improve.
that's leveraging innovation in the real estate and investment industry.
Yes, ma'am. You talked about digital walkthrough also.
Yeah,
You talked about self-documentation of where you made mention of how documents were not even being backed up.
yes,
Some documents are not. So you also talked about an organizations who wants to make an improvement should even put in place whereby there should be a data driven decision. And then in also
yes.
concerning the documentation issue, there should also be a data created that can back up the documentation for like 5 years to 25 years, that even when a
Joshua,
client lost
Joshua,
their
are you
document.
sure? Are you sure you left something for the rest to learn? I think you learned everything. You didn't leave anything for anybody.
I was following you seriously.
Joshua
Like,
he learned
You
everything.
learned
Oh,
everything.
yes, sir.
yes. Thank you,
Thank you
Joshua
so much. Yes, sir.
Olabowale. I think one of the sessions we had recently, Joshua won a 15K cash gift, and that has been
Wow,
credited to
that's
him.
good. It's
So
obvious.
he's
It's
always
obvious. He's a good
attentive,
listener.
So
Thank
that's
you.
great. Thank you, Joshua, for the contribution and feedback. And we
Thank you so much.
look forward, to celebrate your
Yes.
results and your wins as well. We will take just one more person. I can see a hand raised. That's for Jessica Elebio. So we'll take it for just 2 minutes, and then we proceed to the role play. So you have the floor.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sadenika, for the training. It is
Hi,
how
good afternoon. Thank you.
I didn't want to miss this your training, but somehow I was on the call for long. But thank you. During the training, you talk about we should know where the problem lies. Then start with the problem, because if you know the problem, you know how to solve it. And not just solving it, you have to use the right tool.
Yes.
That's about the tool that can solve that problem. Yeah. Then you talk about, okay, also the tool has to be consistent. The tool that one is using to solve the problem has to be consistent, not changing all the time. Yeah, so I would like to stop there for now, because they've talked about almost everything you said. So, and you talked about not migrating.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, ma.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for
Yeah.
sharing that with us. I can see written all over every one's faces that they got a lot of value from this session, and we cannot wait, to be a part of the next session, same time, same platform next week, where we'll be getting a lot of value again. So on behalf of GTEx and Associates Management and the entire team here, we want to say a very big thank you to you, Mark, for everything you do and for coming on board once again to share with us your wealth of knowledge. We say a very big thank you very much, Mark. Thank you, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you.
so Mr. Farouk, would you like to pass a comment?
Can you hear me, Mr. Isaac?
Yes.
Clearly.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know I was not muted. They've said everything now. I just want to thank Mr. Adeyinka. She has been supporting us so many times. I've had personal one-on-one conversation, and our knowledge is the foundations of what I and some of my colleagues have built up so far in GTEC. So I'm always eager to learn, and there's always something to always learn from. Especially in terms of innovation, you have to keep finding ways to innovate your current processes, the way you think, upskill yourself. So I'm grateful to be a part of this class. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome, Farouk. Nice connecting with you again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so we'll be
Yeah.
proceeding right away to the second phase of this session, which will be the product knowledge and role play. Mighty, please, you can kindly assist with sharing the screen. So today, if you check across all the groups, you would notice we shared 2 products of the day. And those products we have one to be White House Polo and Golf located in Monia, Ibadan. And the second is Beryl Golf Estate, Beryl Golf Course Estate located along Lagos Ibadan Expressway as well. So a couple of other materials were shared, in the different groups, and it's to equip us to be able to sell, and pitch these products, with confidence, because there's nothing as good as when you can communicate with confidence and you are not calling from a place of ignorance. You are not reaching out to your prospects from a place of ignorance. Are you getting it? When you are reaching out, you know exactly what to say. You have a blueprint. You have a framework that can guide you in the process of your conversation. So for those who have not seen that yet, please just check across the different WhatsApp groups. For those who are joining us across our social media platforms, please, IT, kindly drop the WhatsApp number they can reach out to. If that's possible, if you can share it on the screen. Or for those joining on our social media platforms, please just reach out to +234 8138550318. So you can be added to the WhatsApp platforms as well. I'll call it again, +234 813818. So reach out to that number so that you can also get access to every of these resources we are sharing across the groups. The goal is to make everybody a seasoned top tier sales performer, where you can close deals with a lot of confidence. So check on the group, you will see a sales call and objection handling guide that has been dropped for both White House Monia and Beryl Golf course as well. We have some persons that have used this exact framework, and some of them already have prospects who are already coming for physical inspections, and they just had access to this training, to these resources just a few days ago. And they've started utilizing these things, and they are getting to make good progress. So we'll be having a brief role play. For those who are just joining for the first time, role play means a practice where, a practical session where we have someone play the role of a buyer, we have someone play the role of a seller, and we both pitch, the buyer, the seller pitches the product, the value in the product, to the buyer, and that way we can get to learn and even communicate and pitch more with a lot of confidence. So I would love to take, nominees. If you would like to partake in this, you can just raise your virtual hand. By the way, one of the best ways that is good to know those who are ready and hungry to make sales is by their readiness to practice, and even be a part of this practical role play session. So if you would love to go for the role play, just raise your virtual hand, or you can unmute your mic and speak so that we can pull you up. So we need 2 persons, 1 person to play the role of the seller, 1 person to play the role of a buyer. So Daniel Obina, are you there? Daniel Obina, confirm if you can hear me well. Big Mike, are you there? Joshua Olabowale. Joshua Olabowale, confirm if you can hear me.
Sir, I'm there. Sir. Yes,
Okay,
I'm
great.
there, sir.
All right, you can put on your video so we can pull you up. Let's also have Daniel Obina as well. so we can pull the two of you up. So Joshua Olabawale, you would play the role of the seller while we have Daniel play the role of the buyer. IT, please, you can try to see if you can spotlight them so that we can see their faces as well. So you have the floor.
Okay. Hello.
Daniel, you are muted. Can you unmute your mic?
Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, you can proceed.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I'm Joshua Olabowale.
Okay.
Hello. Okay.
So I can hear
I'm Joshua. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
you. Go ahead.
Hello. I'm Joshua Olabowale. I'm calling from GTEX and Associates. I'm a wealth advisor, and I promise it won't take more than 2 to 3 minutes of your time. Hope it's okay with you, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir?
Go ahead. Don't waste my time.
Okay. I can see your interest in the lands. I can see your interest on the White House and Polo Golf. So I also want to ask, because of time, would you like what kind of payments would you like to make? Is it an outright and installmental, or will you go for a mini estate, sir?
I don't remember what I said. Hello.
Hello?
I don't remember what you're talking about. I just rephrase. I don't remember asking about the new estate. However, I'm interested in what you have to offer. Can you proceed?
Okay. I can see your interest in White House and Polo Golf, Moneya. That is the estate along Ibadan.
Tell me about the estate.
Yes, sir.
Why should I
Hello?
invest in this? Hello. Why should I invest in this?
Hello, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? I said,
I
go
can
ahead
hear
and
you.
tell me. Why should I invest in this?
You said Abuja. I can't hear you clearly.
Can
Hello?
you hear me now? Yes, can you hear me
Yes,
now?
I can hear you now.
Go ahead and tell me about it. Why should I invest in my money?
Okay, why you should invest your money, sir?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why you should invest your money in White House, Polo, and Golf is that you can consider it majorly. That's why I'm asking the reason why you picked an interest, but it's fine. You can check you can invest because of investment. That is to add to your portfolio to give you more income. You can also choose to invest because of building a home. You can choose because of your retirement, so that maybe it contributes to your retirement. And again, you can also choose to invest because of rental income. You can also make it as a business. And what I mean as a business is that maybe you buy it for some times, you don't want to consider it building in house. You can just buy the land for some times, keep, and then you resell. So it is a good business decision. So investing in
Okay.
it is not a bad.
Are you selling or are you advising me on what to do?
Like I introduced myself firstly, or like I said, is that I'm a wealth advisor. And the reason why I advised you is that so that you'll be able to make your decisions rightly. And in case, I don't know, you might also want to include another person's to make the decision with you. but it's a very fine one. You can also include another person. That's why I'm not just selling it. I'm also advising you to make a proper decisions on the one you want. That is why I also asked, do you want a mini estate, or did you want maybe just a plot? That's why I'm also asking that to know your decision.
I'm really interested, but you have not said anything that catches my attention. Saying you want
Okay.
me to buy because I can build my investment portfolio on it. I don't get it. I'm not
Okay.
buying as an investor. I'm not buying to build I'm buying to make profit. So what is the ROI going to be like in the next 5 years? That's what I want to hear. Tell me about it.
You want to know majorly what it will give you. That is what
Yeah.
suits your what suits or what you want is you want to know what it can the actual return you can also gain on your investment, right?
Yes.
Okay. Or
What
if you
just
that if you checking, that is one of the reasons why I also ask the question that is it an outright you want? Is it an instrumental? If you get a plot, for an instance, the amount of profit you are going to make on just
I think
a plot of land cannot be compared to when you get a mini estate. So if you get a mini estate, for an instance, um you are buying a land together, that is buying 6 plus 5 plus together, and then the plot you are buying together, it also you buy it more cheaper. It means there's more return on investment. If your target is to get more return on your investment, it is better to go to buy more, and then it can appreciate more better. So I will advise you, sir, that you should go for maybe getting your mini estate, sir. That is buying 6 plots together, 5 plots together rather.
you
So
haven't
because
answered my
I might not be able to give you an actual, I might not be able to give you a calculated and amount or a figure, is that it might appreciate than that. It
so
might
what is
appreciate
the
than that. Better.
what
One thing is certain is that it will always appreciate. So it is better to buy more and makes it
you know,
to appreciate.
I've really given you enough time, but you are not saying anything. You are not saying anything. You are saying that you go for a mini estate. If I'm going to lose? You are saying that you multiply my losses. I'm saying just give me a projection of what the ROI is going to be like in the next. I'm not saying give me the exact figure. So what is the projection, and why do you think that if your projection is right?
Okay. If I'm to use for an instance whereby you have maybe you are acquiring a land, a plot of land is 7 million, for an
You
instance.
have 1 minute more, 1 minute to go.
Okay. For an instance where a plot of land is 7 million, maybe in the next 3 years you wanted to keep it for the next 3 years or in the next 2 years.
So
Is
maybe
there's tendency that you can make over 30% annual growth on it. If you are keeping
how
it for like 5 years, hello,
did
sir.
you arrive at how did you arrive at 30%? Hmm?
Okay.
How
Can
did you
you
arrive at
okay? Can you permit me to for a persons to join this call also to reach to my
okay?
head?
This is
Okay. All right, sir.
I think we have come to the end of the call.
Hello.
Are you back? Hello, can you hear me? I think the guy has gone, so we have come to the end of this case. Good.
Okay, sorry for that brief network disconnection. So I believe we can all hear me now. Like I was saying, thank you, Daniel, for being, persistent on knowing what you want. And the truth is that when you are interfacing with prospects, most of them or a good number of them already have an idea of what they are looking for, and there are specifics of what they are looking for. So if you cannot really answer those questions well, then you won't be able to really close those deals. So from the introduction, first thing I would like to highlight is the fact that you didn't really build a rapport before even going into talking about the price. From your introduction, you went too direct and straight, to just give me the money without telling the prospects any solid, concrete reasons why he should invest with you. And that's the reason why he kept on emphasizing what is the investment potential. That's why he was saying, what do I stand to gain? Are you getting it? As an investor, what's the benefit in this your particular offer for me? What's the unique value proposition that this offer is bringing to
Okay, sir.
the table? Question you asked much more after he had already brought your attention to that. At the beginning, when you have introduced yourself, it's also good, you qualify them to know what piqued their interest, why they even showed interest. Are you getting it? Is it for investment purpose? Is it for business? Is it for building a home? Is it for rental income purpose? If you look at the sheets that were shared in the group, you would see the arrangement of your conversation, what it should look like. Now, you don't need to use that script, that guide, word for word. No, you don't need to use it word for word. It's just a guide. Are you getting it? To help you know how the conversation flow should look like. And the prospect can at any point, ask any question, but you should know how you can immediately respond. Are you getting it? To any question that comes along the line as you are making your presentation. So that's what that guide is really meant for. So it's good to build rapport, and also know what's the purpose of their interest. That's what you now leverage on. For instance, if it says, you ask, are you interested for residential purpose, for investment purpose, for business? If it says it's interested for investment purpose, you now say something like, okay, based on what you've said, that you are interested for investment purpose, White House Polo and Golf Money fits this in perfectly well. And then you now go ahead to just leverage on the feedback he has given you. So you want to do more. There's a rule that's called the 70-30 rule, where you do 70% of listening. Please, everyone should write this down. Your role is to do, your responsibility is to do 70% of listening and 30% of talking. So your role is to qualify those prospects, know what they actually want, even know their budget range. Are you getting it?
Yes,
know if this location is even the perfect fit for them. Are you getting it?
yes.
And that way you can guide them with a lot of confidence. Then he kept on emphasizing he wants to know the appreciation potential, the ROI, what's the growth trajectory going to look like in the next 5 years, next 3 years, next 10 years. You want to have those information handy. At a point you said you said something like, you don't really know what the appreciation potential looks like, the growth trajectory, and that can easily, communicate that, oh, this person is not well grounded in his data, in his information, and all of that. So even if you don't have the information handy, which normally you are supposed to, but present it in a way that won't sound like you don't know. Are you getting it? You don't know your facts and your figures. Okay, that will be because of our time. I believe that the more we get on this session, the more improved, are you getting it? The presentation, the pitch would be. So the goal, like I said, is not to be perfect, it's not for perfection, it's for mastery. So that means even if they wake you while you are sleeping, oh, tell me about White House Polo and Golf, tell me about Beryl Golf Course. Are you getting it? You know what to say. You understand? If you check the description that was dropped across all the group, there's a little write-up that follows each of those banners, and you even see what those things can give you. You understand? Some of the benefits that you can also, emphasize on even in the process of your pitch, so that you can give your prospects more value. So please go back to those resources, study those materials, and also be open to do your own personal, findings, so that it can help you to be more grounded. For someone, you can go online. For someone who wants to invest in Ibadan, what are the benefits, of real estate investment in Ibadan? So if you want to do the same thing for properties in Abuja, go ahead. You can even narrow it down to Moniya. You can narrow it down to even Kuje, to Gwagwalada, to other projects as well. So that way, when you are talking, your flow of thought is fluent and you are speaking with a lot of confidence. If you got value on this session, just unmute your mic and say value, value, value. We'll be wrapping up right now.
Value.
I got value.
Okay,
Value,
thank
value.
you. Thank you, everyone. And we are looking forward
value.
Thank you. We are looking forward to celebrate your sale. So what that means is whatever support you need, please feel free to reach out immediately. IT, please drop the contact they can reach out to once again. So you need any support, any guide, any information, any material to help you close those deals on the spot, or quickly, please feel free to reach out. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of today's session. I would love to keep to time. We've spent about 88 minutes on this call. That's approximately 90 minutes. And right now, we'll be wrapping up. So the number again, +234. IT, you can drop in the chat box, +234 81 38 55 0318. So for all our participants today, thank you for joining, and we look forward to celebrate you. Congratulations in advance on your sales. So unmute your mic and say, mention your name. Congratulations, Isaac Adioye, on your sales.
Congratulations, Joshua.
Thank you. That person that said amen. I see you love me.
Congratulations to me, Paul Godwin.
So,
Congratulations.
call your name too.
Joshua Olavo, congratulations.
All right, thank you, everyone. See you. The next session we'll be having will be on Thursday, same time. On Thursday we'll be having Mr. Izu Uwama join us on the call. Same time on Thursday. See you by then.